Today is the day, or this afternoon actually. What I'm going to do today is hopefully pull the engine out or get pretty damn close to it. So basically what I'm going to do, I've made myself a list. This is a great way on just making sure all your organisational skills are really well. When you write it out, you can actually see how it's going to plan out and if that's a good way of doing it. So what I did is just wrote up a list from all the way up to jacking up the car to draining oils and removing this, then removing that, and you can sort of see, oh no, hold on, I have to remove this first before I can move that, or this will happen, and that happened a few times. So I'm really glad I made the list. Now what I'm going to do first, before I remove the battery or jack it up or remove any of the oils, is I'm going to release pressure from the fuel system. So what I'm going to do is disconnect the fuel pump fuse or relay or whatever it is, and then I'm going to crank over the engine until it just doesn't want to start, and then that'll mean all the fuel out of fuel lines is gone. There's no more pressure behind it, because these fuel lines can hold quite a lot of pressure, and it's not something you just want to be cracking open, and you could get a fuel injection. I'm not really sure how much pressure it runs at, but it's not a thing you want to just have like that. Also, I'm going to be changing the fuel pump, so you want to release fuel pressure before you change the fuel pump as well, because when you disconnect it, otherwise all that pressure is still going to be in the pump, and it's going to go everywhere. So yeah, I'm going to release pressure first, then I'm going to jack it up and drop all the fluids, then I'm going to pull off my bumper and the side fenders or quarter panels, and I don't really necessarily need to do that, but I do need to remove the bumper so I can mount the front mount later on, and I don't want to scratch any of my paintwork, so I'm just going to remove those. If it's too hard, I might not. But yep, neighbour. He's probably thinking, why the hell is he talking to his camera? Anyway, yeah, I don't want to scratch any of my paintwork, and it's just in case the gearbox does fall down, I don't want it smashing into my bumper. Ooh, and I have a friend. Okay, so I took all the pressure out of the fuel system, so basically I just disconnected the fuel pump and cranked it over until it just spluttered and died. So that releases probably majority of the pressure anyway. Then I've just jacked it up, put it on axle stands, and I'm currently just draining the oil, and that's pretty much all drained now. And I'm just draining the coolant as well. Just to speed up the process, I've got 2 drain trays. So now I'm going to, pretty much that one's done. You don't need to get all the oil out, just enough so it's not going to piss everywhere when you take the engine out. And then I'm going to remove the gearbox oil, and then I can just go ahead and remove the bumper, the radiator, the quarter panels, and then finally start removing all the wiring harness. And then tomorrow I'll remove the engine. So yeah, that's about it. Sweet. Okay, so heaps has happened, so I'm pretty much removed everything now. All I got to do now is remove the power steering pump, the aircon condenser, that's power steering pump, that's the air condenser down there. Hopefully just going to be able to move that out of the way a little bit, and don't have to disconnect them, because I don't want to have to re-gas my aircon, and also it's illegal to let the gas out, so you'd have to go take it to a place to degas it, and yeah, I don't really want to do that, so I'm going to try. It's on a little flexible hose, so I can just flex it out of the way and set it up here and zip tie it to something. And then same goes with the power steering pump. It's just on hoses, so I can just swivel it over here a little bit, get out of the way, and then I don't have to change. You don't have to put power steering fluid everywhere and all that sort of shit. Yeah, so I've also removed the bonnet, as you can see, sitting over there. Comes off just with 4 bolts, which is pretty easy. I just got my mum to help me. I just removed the fan as well, because it just gives me some extra room. I removed the radiator and the shroud and all that sort of thing. So that's the radiator, fan, and basically all the pieces I've removed. Just all the intake piping, the shroud, as I said, and the radiator, and obviously the battery, and a few other little bits, I think. So yeah, all I gotta do is remove that. And then there's also the exhaust, obviously. This EGR valve, I remove that as well. And there's also some hoses down the back here, which are a bit freaking hard to get to undo. So I'll try undo it from there. Yeah, I can probably undo it from there. And then I'm just going to make sure that I was reading on the net about this, that you have to make sure you do that before you tighten down the engine. Otherwise you will never get it undone. You never get it in, sorry. So, yeah, I think I'm bleeding. Anyway, I'm going to remove that, and I'll show you the complete stripped engine bay. Sick. Hey guys, so I sort of forgot to take videos. I've been really busy with the build. So it's really dark at night now, but I'm going to try to just show you, hopefully. Don't be annoyed with me. So I stripped the DE out, so you can just see it's a bare engine bay. Yep, nothing in it. Just took off the power steering and the aircon condenser and pushed them to the side, so I don't have to regas the aircon or redo the power steering fluid, and it just makes it a lot easier. No hoses take out. So yeah, got the DE DET, sorry, all on the engine hoist. Yes, I know it's dark. The gearbox on, it's all ready to go on. Everything's on there, hopefully. There we go. Everything's on there. I'll just show you the old DE. Here she is here. So it's got a new clutch on it, stock clutch. As you can see, a machine flywheel. So yeah, it's still good. Found out where my oil leak was coming from. I thought my rear main seal was leaking, but it's actually the rear main half moon on the rear half moon seal on the rocker cover was leaking, as you can see, which would drain down and it sort of looked like it's the rear main seal's leaking, but it wasn't. Because this is up against the firewall, you wouldn't usually see that. So yeah. Yeah, that's about it. Got all my stuff, all the oils, new engine mounts, new battery because I'm running a front mount intercooler, so I need a smaller battery. And I got all my fluids. And the old radiator, I'm getting a Koyo radiator soon to put in. But for now I'm just going to chuck her in there. So here she is, and yeah, we're going to put in pitch blackness and hopefully all goes well. I'll show you the result. Okay, so after a lot of swearing and yeah, a lot of time, we finally got it in. Yes. It was extremely freaking difficult to align the engine mounts into the slots. Yeah, it just took a lot of inching forward and then dropping a little bit, inching forward, dropping a little bit, inching forward, dropping a little bit, until we finally got it. And we also had power steering lines on the steering rack that we didn't want to hit, so we were just inching it, dropping it a little bit, and then pushing it forward, dropping it a little bit because we didn't want to hit those lines. And after about two hours of doing that, we finally pushed it in. We were just about to pack up and call it a night, and I thought, no, I just want to try get it in, and I just pushed it, dropped a little bit more, pushed it, dropped a little more, and then we pushed it real hard. We all three of us pushed it in, and finally got it in there. So yeah, got that. Then I just jacked it up, and I've just put the axle and stuff back on. So I just got the bolts loosely mounted in the cross member, and sorry guys, I'm trying to I'm not looking at anything here. I have to look at under. Just there's a mount there that holds the drive axle on, and I just put that back in. So now what I'm going to do is just tighten up those bolts, otherwise I'm just going to forget. Tighten up those bolts, put the clutch slave cylinder back on, and then that's all I need to do really under the car until I run the exhaust, so then I can just jack it down. And then tomorrow I'll run all the harness and all the pipe work and all that sort of thing. So it's going to be a busy weekend. Anyway, I made a lot of progress tonight. Didn't really actually think I was going to get in tonight, but yeah, I ended up getting in, which is really good. And just watch my video, guys. More to come, and yeah, I'll see you in a second.